Hello,
YouTubers! We're back with another video talking about our favorite subject, The Walking Dead. And I hope that you had the opportunity to view the episode 2, season 6, because there are going to be a lot of spoilers if you haven't. So please make sure that you turn this video off if you have not viewed the episode. And after you view it, come back and turn us on.
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm Annalie.
Yes, thank you. I was getting ready to get right in it. Okay, and I'm Patricia. And I think we're gonna have to go ahead and get right in it.
I think so.
Episode 2, The Walking Dead, AMC, they never cease to amaze me. Again, fabulous, great, everything, you know, I wanted, imagined, and more. They keep me coming back.
Yep. So let's start with how it started, where we see Enid.
Yes. And
her flashback and what she experienced from, you know, when the apocalypse started and all that.
Because I always wondered, like, what was her backstory? I wondered, you know, why she didn't have parents, that she was...
Why was she so damaged?
Yeah. Well, I guess you have to imagine, you know, being the apocalypse. There's going to be some damage, too. There's going to be some damage.
Yeah.
But
what kind of trauma did she go through?
Yeah, because they said that when she first got there, she didn't even talk for like a couple of weeks or something. So she went through something, you know, I would imagine horrific. And the fact that she didn't have parents.
Right.
And I remember when she referenced her mother's knife, you just assumed that, okay, something bad had befallen her mother. So it was good to see how she was, you know, some of her backstory, obviously not all of it, but just how she got to Alexandria.
Yeah.
And, you know, how she was with her mother and how her parents died, and right in front of her.
Yes.
Yeah.
For not being careful enough and not being smart enough in the apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like they were driving a minivan.
Yes.
You know, and I was wondering, like, how far in the apocalypse were they? But I guess
we did not know that. That never was clarified, it seems like.
But I guess when you think about the time that she was wandering around and then she got to Alexandria, I mean, I would imagine it had to be at least a couple years or a year or so in there. But yeah, just that little snapshot of that scene seemed as though they weren't very acclimated to, you know, their surroundings and what
surviving.
Was going on. The survival. And
of course, when we saw Turtle come walking down the street, we knew that he was going to be food.
But I didn't know he was going to be eaten raw now. I didn't know he was going to be eaten raw out the shell. That threw me for a loop, because she looked like the walker that was eating her.
Yeah, she did.
She just, just eating the pieces and taking the bones out. And I was thinking, turtles have bones? I guess they do.
Yeah. And I mean, it looked pretty gruesome when she was eating it. Just all this blood, and like you said, she looked more like a walker just because she was all bloody all over the place, just scarfing it down. I don't know. You would think that she would have had time to acclimate too and be able to, you know, make a fire and make some dinner and
cook it.
something.
It just seems like she bashed it in the head and just started biting on it.
And is it dangerous to eat that meat raw?
Could you get sick? About turtles, but I was also wondering, like, how long was she walking around by herself? Because I know at some point you get to that level that you're going to eat a raw turtle. But at some point, you would.
Or you could be more like Daryl, and he was already kind of a survivalist.
Yeah.
So he would just right away start, eating the squirrels and cooking them.
Right.
Or cooking them and eating them.
Right, yes. But I just wondered also, how long was she by herself? And then she was doing the JSS, which is the name of the episode, Just Survive Somehow, or Just Somehow Survive. I forget what order that was in. Just Survive Somehow.
Yeah.
And that was kind of her mantra, I think, for surviving by herself, because she would like etch it on different things, I guess, as a reminder. So, and then she gets to Alexandria.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we take off with Carol. In the pantry with the girls, talking about cooking and things like that.
Not even the apocalypse, like everything is hunky-dory and they're just housewives talking about...
chit-chatting, like a coffee clatch or some such thing.
Yeah, like how to make these certain dishes and trading recipes and all this.
And Carol was pulling that off quite well. She even did a mention of Ed. Ed got a mention.
Yep.
And we got to meet the infamous Miss Niedermeyer that they had spoke about in previous episodes last season. And her need for a pasta maker.
And Carol setting her straight, saying, hey, you don't even need that. I will teach you how to make it just with your own hands.
Yeah, you don't smoke. And Carol does have a dark side. She has a dark side, unless she was just so irritated by the fact that they were just talking about frivolous things.
I think so.
That she just had to jab them good. Maybe
I felt like she was. And she was just engaging in this ridiculous conversation. And
she was like, okay, this is just ridiculous. And that could have been it. But anyway, she got her good. And then she goes home and she's cooking, got her stuff out, immaculately clean kitchen.
Yep.
Looking out the window. Okay, we were talking about Carol looking out the window at Miss Niedermeyer smoking, because before she had made a comment about her smoking and it was a nasty habit, or it could kill you.
It could kill you, and there's enough things trying to kill you in this world anyway, right now.
Which is kind of, you know, I guess, well, they soon found out. And she's watching, she's looking disgusted. You can see the disgust on her face that she was smoking. And then out of nowhere, a marauding killer,
axe wielding
maniac. I think he had a machete, didn't he?
It was some kind of crazy weapon. I know that.
Yeah.
But was it a machete?
No, I think it was like a long knife, some kind of machete-looking slishing, and it was just like, I mean, I can't even describe. It was like watching a horror movie, like, you know, like we were talking, like Jason or like Michael Myers. Coming out of nowhere, and even the way he was dressed was, you know, he's a big guy. It was just, and it was like, oh my God, did this just happen? Did we just see somebody come out of nowhere, slishing that woman up?
And I think just even the fact that you're standing, or Carol's standing there in a kitchen in this normal situation, and then seeing something so atrocious right in front of you happen.
And it just happened.
And
that was it. It happened. And yes, this happened. Yes, that just happened.
Yep.
And of course, Carol, calm, cool, collected.
Takes action.
Yeah. Just like, you know, okay, this is going on. Well, let me get this. And seeing to Carl and making sure Judith is taken care of. And out she goes to
take care of business.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly what she did. And we have Spencer, who I'm completely out with.
Yeah.
Because I'm out with a lot of people this episode. He's on the tower. While he's on the tower,
position,
if he can't shoot, who put him up there? Could not shoot to save his life or anybody else's. People getting murderized, and he's just, oh man. But I guess the one thing he did, he shot the truck. He did do that. He shot the person in the truck.
Yeah.
Which of course we found out caused the horn that was blowing, which I like the way they incorporated that. You know, this is what's going on over here versus what was going on last episode.
Because we were all wondering what that was about in the last episode.
And somebody did say, I remember somebody said something about a horn to a truck, so that was true. And then Spencer and then Morgan appears. Right?
Yep.
Morgan appears, and he's, you know, Spencer couldn't kill the guy in the truck had zombified, and he could not.
And he still couldn't kill him.
And I'm like,
what's wrong with you?
Why? Why was he on that? Why was he in the tower?
Even the fact that he got so stressed out when this was happening. I mean, look at Carol's reaction.
Calm, very calm.
Collected. She knows what to do, and he's all like this. You can't be like that. You can't.
And of course, we have to understand that they were sheltered and coddled, but still, you know, you're in the tower.
Yep.
somebody must have thought you could do something, or you thought you could do something, because that was the prime place to be in a situation like that, because you can just pick them off. Yep. But he didn't do that. And so the guy in the truck, and I know that he came down to stop the horn. I get that, and that was smart. I think that was smart of him to do, even though he didn't do it. Morgan had to intervene.
Of course, do you think that, I mean, because maybe all the competent and more important people were helping with the zombie herd.
Yeah.
And so maybe they figured, well, for right now, Alexandria might be safe, even with this guy that can't do nothing.
Oh, you mean because they were thinking, because the last thing they thought was that some marauding killers were going to come.
You're like, well, for this little, while we're doing this, let's just have...
And put him in the tower. I mean, even like Rosita or somebody, I think, would be a better choice.
Carl?
Yes, Carl would have been a better choice to put in the tower. But anyway, so they did and whatever. And then Morgan comes and has to kill the zombified truck driver. And this was classic. He's asking Spencer, like, what's going on? He's saying, well, yeah, people in there killing people. Morgan's like, well, okay, well, come on, let's go. You coming? And he's looking like, and then Morgan says the most classic line.
Yes.
Hide.
If you can't
You
do
need
it,
to hide.
you just go and hide yourself.
You need to hide then. But anyway, he then Morgan goes in there, and again, Morgan, he's got that whole Zen thing, not killing, but I understood that he had that. But I also thought that in a situation where it's kill or be killed, that he would kill. But apparently he showed us, that no, he's not killing no matter what. No. He's just not killing people.
He's not touching a weapon like that, or he's not touching a gun or anything like that. All he's doing is
just disarming. I guess he wants to disarm people or whatever. But, there was a lot of people that died as a result of his inaction to kill. And
even you could even argue, because obviously later on in this show he meets with the wolf,
right? The one that he met
earlier that would have killed him if he hadn't taken him down. Right. But if he had killed him,
it'd been one less that anybody would have had to worry about. And who knows how many he killed while he was in there, looting and pillaging and whatever else they were doing.
Yeah.
So I'm with Morgan.
See, I'm still trying to defend Morgan just because he's so good. He's so good at his fighting skills are so
excellent. But if
excellent.
you're fighting and you ain't killing, what good are you on the apocalypse? But you fighting, okay, fight, but you ain't killing. So I don't know what good you are to me when marauding killers, butchery, killing, dismemberment of limbs,
and they even after they killed someone, they continue
to
chop the people up into little tiny pieces.
And Morgan saw that man with that axe chopping that person up into pieces, and he's trying to talk. At that point,
that person.
Why are you trying to talk? There's no turning a person like that around.
Nope.
He needs to be killed. Period. End of discussion. But he's trying to, let me talk. And then, of course, Carol, who I'm loving so much right now. Carol is my hero.
Yeah.
She comes up, cuts, and keeps right on going.
Yes, she does.
Cuts and keeps right on going. Because she knows what she needs to do. She even has the wherewithal to, again, camouflage herself.
Yes.
And that's what she does.
And it worked. Her camouflage worked.
It did work.
Because when those other people come out of
they were running
the townhouses or something. They see her and they're like, she's one of them.
You got somebody. Good job. And bam, bam.
Yep. And no hesitation. Excellent marksmanship.
No, nothing.
Carol is ruling.
Yes,
it's ruling.
Definitely over Morgan. And it's what I thought was so funny. Funny. When she had Morgan, they were pretending like he was her prisoner, and they walked by and see Gabriel. One of the wolves after Gabriel. She said, just leave him. She said, just leave him. And they were going, but of course Morgan, goes over there and they're tussling and carrying on and tying that man up. What are you going to do with him after he's tied up? He's sitting there, what are you going to do?
Give him a fair trial?
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
And of course,
you can't. You can't reason with.
No, you're not
like
reasoning with that. And here comes Carol, boom, and keeps right on going.
Yep.
Keeps right on going.
And they're working hard, tying up. Oh, how did you learn how to do that? Boom.
And that's the end of it. There's no need. There's no more need for that.
Yep.
But and then she gives them the guns because she went to the armory, which somebody thinking would do. Let's get some guns because they don't have guns. She even picked up on the fact that they don't have guns.
Yes.
Because if they had them, they would use them.
And trying to prevent them from getting to that to make it an even worse situation.
Yeah.
So she's thinking, she's acting, doing exactly what you should be doing.
And I don't even know how many she took down, but she took down quite a bit. And that place would have been overrun had it not been for Carol. I mean, I know Rosita was also. I don't know if Rosita killed anybody. Aaron, he stepped up. He did. He killed someone. Who else was there? Oh yeah, Eugene and Tara were there, but they
of
were.
Course.
Yeah.
Now I feel too like Carol's. Her being this, I don't know, housewife. That's her image in this city now. But now that's blown because she.
But you know what? I was thinking that too. But all the people that know is dead. Hey.
Well, Morgan already knew.
Well, yeah, he already had her number. He already called her out. But I don't think.
But what about Jessie?
But Jessie didn't see her. Jessie was hiding in her house.
Oh yeah.
Jessie was, and also Jessie is another one which I wasn't impressed by what she did. Big deal.
But at least.
Well, yeah, she did.
She killed.
Well, yeah, she did because she's protecting her child. So she reacted like a mother who would protect. But she didn't. I wasn't bells and all that wasn't going off when she did that. But yeah, I will give it to her that she did grab what she could
compared
find.
to Spencer.
Yes, who was. Yeah,
she was not as useless as Spencer.
Yeah, she wasn't useless. She did, and all that rage. I mean, she was going at her and then jabbed her in the head in the end. When she could have just jabbed her in the head.
Yes.
So I'll give her that. I'll give her that. She did. She did give it to her. Let's see, Carl. But Carl, you know what? I was thinking, okay, he's softening. They were so worried about being soft because when that man came up, he hesitated, and then he shot. Well, I think he shot him in the leg, and then he was pleading, and Carl hesitated and almost got.
Yes, he did.
And back in the day, Carl was blaming people. Remember that boy he gunned down?
Yes.
He was, but
he was preemptively striking. Now he's hesitating, which could be lethal.
Yes, because he almost got him. So, but then he did. He went on and struggled and shot him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, okay, Carl, and he was worried about getting soft, and that was one thing he was worried about. So, who else was there? Eugene. Oh, and we met we met the doctor, a new character, Dr. Denise Cloyd, and I know she's from the comic. That's why I knew her last name.
Oh, okay.
But the comic version is different than this one. This one is kind of hesitant and unsure of herself.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
I felt very like having her in with that responsibility was like, whoa, she's not going to be able to handle anything that comes in her door, even if it's a cold.
And I was thinking, that's what y'all get for killing Pete.
And y'all a surgeon.
That's what y'all get for killing Pete.
Do minor surgeries at least.
But yes, she was, she was very hesitant. She didn't trust herself. She was afraid, and she had Holly, who Holly was mentioned in other episodes, but finally we got to meet her, and on the day we meet her, the day she dies. But so we who else did we? Any other new one? No other new ones. But I forgot what I was gonna say. But Carl, Jessie, Eugene, Tara. Tara had some issues, medical issues. Eugene kind of stepped up with Chloe, Denise, I guess they call her. Trying to convince her, yeah, you need to do this, you don't need to be a coward, you don't want to go down that road, trust me.
And I mean, what does it hurt to try?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, nobody's expecting you to bring somebody back to life. That's not, you know, as long as you try.
Yeah, just try. And if you make a mistake, first of all, no one's gonna know.
No.
But you just do
Was
what you
it
can
clear
do.
whether or not? I also felt unsure that, you know, once she flatlined, did the doctor know to
stab
get
her
the
in the head?
head?
But you must have
I mean, I
forgot,
know. No, I saw
Tara.
that. Yes, she.
Yeah.
No. I
Yeah,
know that she
okay.
made that remark,
Yeah.
but did she know that she needed to do that before that remark?
Oh no,
was
I don't.
made?
No, she. I believe she did not know. I believe they did. They don't even know.
Because I'm so glad that she said something.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay,
Don't
that's
leave
gonna
her.
be a mess if she leaves right then.
That's what I was thinking. Don't leave her and not take care of that
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't believe they knew. They were so helpless, like children. Just like Carol said, these are children. They were very helpless. And you have these marauding killers. These are not even just your average run of the mill people coming to take you over. These are just people killing you just for the sake of killing.
Yep.
They really didn't want anything from them. They didn't want their houses. They didn't want their community. They just wanted them dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were doing some looting, I saw, but they just want to kill.
Yep.
And what can you do with that besides kill? But and they all had weapons, because I know Rick told Deanna, you know, they needed weapons, and I know Jesse had a gun.
Jesse had a gun.
So they all had weapons. So you know, just like Rick told them, you know, it all came.
And they had to step up. And you know, Rick really was okay. The way that he in the last episode had those zombies come at them to see how they would react.
Right. And they needed that.
This is real, people. That was a real wake-up call that they needed.
Yeah.
And even with that, they weren't ready.
They still
of
weren't,
course,
yeah.
but-
Kicking at it. Kicking at the zombie. But yeah, so yeah, but I loved this episode. It you know, it kind of was a jolt, a wake-up call for whatever Alexandrians are left. Because there was a lot of Alexandrians laying in pools of blood, and you saw where it was like the bicycle, so you assume that it's the child, you know, that was killed. So they were just killing. I mean, killing for killing's sake. And then,
of course, you right now. I just really want to know the whole, you know, the origin of the wolves. You know, where they come from, what's the story, how many are there? I mean, there's so many questions.
yeah, like where did they come from? How did they get so, you know, so vicious?
How many wolves are there out there in the world?
Yes.
So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if we're gonna find out what their story is and where they came from and how they became so vicious and crazy.
Yeah, maybe they'll catch one and they'll explain, or you know, maybe who knows.
Yep.
But
You gotta think that there's like one person that you know
kinda on the
started
fence.
it.
Oh, you mean who started it?
Yeah,
Oh,
like some
oh.
kind of crazy person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's just kind of
got all these other people, you know, in with them, and they were maybe
and in
survivors.
a crazy world, maybe it's easier if you're a crazy person to get more, you know.
Oh yeah.
Get more people to come with you and be crazy.
Oh yeah, especially in a survival kind of environment, you know, kill or be killed. Yeah, I can see how other crazy people. I mean, there are crazy people that exist in normal society, and if the society goes down, those crazy people still exist with no restrictions. So that's what you got. You know, you got mental health, you know, institutions, you got prisons, you got all that stuff. So yeah, you're gonna have that group of crazies going around killing people.
Yep.
And the people that were controlled by society, that just were able to break loose, you know, that really wanted to be that way, but were controlled by society.
Right.
But anywho, this episode I really liked, even though the 18 wasn't there. And the 18 we know, Rick, Michonne, Daryl, who else was not there? You got Abraham, you got Sasha, you know, that group. Glenn.
Oh,
Glenn, who is one of the 18 for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, it was, even without them, it was still a pretty solid episode, one of the best that I've seen, I will say. And it was really much thanks to Carol, who you know, continues to impress us and show us that she does in fact have what it takes, you know.
And as she comes through as a leader.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
yeah, she stepped it up a lot from, you know, where she came from.
And she had to, because you got Morgan there twiddling his thumbs and playing around with sticks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, so, well, I think that we covered pretty much all of it. And again, outstanding, you know, phenomenally done episode.
Can't wait for the next episode, and we hope that you join us for our review of the third episode of this season. And we'll see what happens, because now we're wondering if the zombies are going to come and run over Alexandria. What's going to happen to Alexandria? Are they going to have to leave, pack up, and just bring whatever they can?
And then see how these Alexandrians will really have to survive, you know, out without the comfort of their home, their homes and their community.
And to see how Rick is going to react about Morgan's way of handling the situation.
Which is completely, completely unheard of. There's no way in that environment you're going to be letting people go and giving mercy to marauding killers. I mean, I don't even know how you even, try to rationalize something like that.
But he's so good. He's got his skills.
He does, but if you skills and no action equals nothing. He's got skills, but he's useless as far as I'm concerned in that situation.
Morgan.
He is Morgan, and I was all on board. But if you're not going to deliver, then Morgan, you need to get in the back seat. I'm looking more at Gabriel than Morgan right now. Right now I am. At least Gabriel was asking, okay, I want to learn now. I want to learn. Get the machete, I want to learn. He want to learn. He took the guns. He said he didn't know what to do with them, but he had them in his hand.
Can he be redeemed?
I don't know if he can be redeemed, but right now I'm looking at him better than what I'm looking at Morgan, because Morgan had so many opportunities to save people's lives, and he didn't. The whole thing, bottom line, keeping people safe and surviving. And people died because he didn't do what he needed to do. And more people are going to die because he let those other ones go. No matter how you
potentially.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Gabriel as a better light than Morgan. Morgan's light is kind of dim right now for me. It's dim. It's dim. It is not out, but it is pretty dim. But even though he is Morgan, he needs to do something, work something out in his head or something, because
and maybe
he's got
he
to
will.
change.
Maybe he will. And maybe he'll be strong.
Well, he's got to,
because
he's not going to survive. And that, you can see how Gabriel, raising his hand and people looking at Gabriel and not to Morgan.
That would be sad. I don't want to see that ever.
But anywho, so we thank you for joining us, and we hope that you join us again next week for episode 3. And give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, and thank you for those of you that have subscribed. We really, really appreciate it. And comment below if you have any comments. If you have any questions, we will definitely do answers to questions. If that's something that you guys would like to see or to like for us to do, we definitely will do that. Just leave us the message in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up, and until next time.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.